Cape Cod Challenge Walk for the past 2 years. This is my 7th challenge walk, my 6th as the team captain for South Carolina. I have also participated in the last 5 local walks and completed the Cape Cod Getaway 150-mile bike ride 3 times. I'm very serious about being a Admittedly, I was very overwhelmed when I was asked to speak and share my MS story. Everyone has a story. The National MS Society and their mission to end MS now, the challenge walk, and this night in particular, has become an important part of my life. I've met and been inspired by so many wonderful people here. I've developed lifelong friendships and was even blessed to find love along the way. My MS story begins in 2004. It was my 31st birthday. I had worked an overnight shift as a pediatric intensive care nurse at Mass General Hospital. I awoke with an intense pain in the middle of my back with numbness radiating down the left side of my body, which in nurse fashion, because we're the worst when it comes to self-care, I ignored my symptoms for 3 days. When I finally sought care, I was referred to the neurology department and was worked up quickly. Lyme disease, shingles, MS, spinal cord tumor were a few diagnoses on my differential. I was scheduled for an MRI. As it turned out, my workup was complicated by pregnancy. What? My baby wasn't even a year old yet. My first baby, oh, I already said that. The following days consisted of blood work, spinal tap, and an MRI. Everything suggested I probably had MS, but a definitive diagnosis did not come until my newborn was 6 weeks old. My life changed forever on December 15th, 2004. It's my MS-versary. Every MSer has one. It's the day that they'll never forget. You have MS are the words that I heard. 3 awful words. Followed by, we don't know what this diagnosis means for you, specifically, or what your course will be like. What we can tell you that statistics show that 25% of all newly diagnosed patients will need an assistive walking device in 10 years. I left that appointment feeling hopeless, helpless, with 2 small children and a handful of pamphlets of different pharmaceuticals that were recommended for me to try. Now what? At first you feel sorry for yourself. Why me? You question every feeling. Every time you trip or lose your words. Is this a symptom? Is this MS? Will I be able to work? Will this affect my job? Will I be able to care for my children? And who will take care of me? It takes a good long time to get comfortable with your new normal. I had never really worked out before, played sports, or was particularly active at all. I decided from a healthcare professional perspective that a toned muscle would take much longer to atrophy than a flaccid one. So the first thing I did is I dragged my flabby postpartum body to the gym, and I got rest. My neuroprotective bed. I chose an infusion. I loved the idea of only having to think about MS once a month. To be forced to sit in an infusion center with a cup of coffee and read for a solid hour didn't sound like a bad idea to me. But there were issues that made that stressful, so I had to settle on to another med that I gave myself an injection once a week, and I gave myself terrible flu-like symptoms for 7 years. Then I found charity. My first walk was in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, 4 months after I was diagnosed and pregnant. I walked and I started to raise money for a cure. Finally, I needed support. My only experience with MS was being a care provider to patients who were fairly affected by MS and required inpatient rehab. I needed to set my eyes and get my hands on someone who was just like me. What I found so far has been MS's biggest blessing. I found the most amazing group of women that I am lucky to call my most specials. We have been meeting together once a month since 2005. It's what I look forward to the most. No matter what is going on in our lives, we do our best to make this special time for each other. We laugh, mostly inappropriately. We cry and support each other. We have survived exacerbations, heartache, breakups. We've witnessed new love, marriages, and new babies. These are my sisters. We have an unspoken understanding and bond that we can count on each other for at any time. It is this group of women that has taught me gratitude for this terrible disease. Without MS, we would not have met. Socks on Fire was born in 2010 as I crossed the finish line for my friend Nancy's team, the Super Wicked Walkers, in honor of her amazing Boston accent, to describe the flames that were shooting out of our sneakers as we crossed. My team varies from year to year. I have walked with my most specials, my work sisters, college friends. I've picked up new acquaintances along the way. My team has been as little as 2 people and as large as 13. Last year, very symbolically, I was going to walk alone, but my friend Erica wouldn't allow me to do that. This year, I am here with my village of Greenwood moms. This wonderful group of women that I'm blessed to raise my children with. And really, what friend will walk 50 miles for you? You guys are amazing. I'm proud of my team, and I'm even prouder to report that since we've started, we've raised over $76,000. I love this walk. I love this whole experience. I made a promise to myself, as long as I'm capable, I will continue to walk for a cure. A cure for myself, a cure for my mother, who was diagnosed in 2009. A cure for the many amazing men and women that I've come to know and love. A cure for my most specials. A cure for all of those who live with the daily reminders of MS. I will walk for my children so that they never have to hear the words, "You have MS." My story has had shares of ups and downs. Injectable meds, site reactions, infusions, side effects, oral agents, trigeminal nerve, spinal cord, and brainstem lesions. Last year I walked 48 of the 50 miles after enduring high-dose steroids for a new onset foot drop just the week before. With strength, determination, intense physical therapy, and a lot of calming grace, I am happy to report I just had my first stable MRI in 3 years. No new lesions or evidence of progression of your MS. There is nothing greater to hear from your neurologist. MS has shown me strength. I'm strong enough to take care of myself, my children, perform well at my job, and I deserve to be happy. MS has shown me to never take my mobility for granted, and that I'm never alone. I am surrounded by love and support, and someone will take care of me. Because as long as you are graceful and grateful, you get what you give. It was only after I was diagnosed that I really started living. Thank you for listening to my story.